Hey y'all, Justin with FCAW. Today we're going to talk about the new Warrior 500 Echo. We're going to be setting up some 710XM wire with this machine. This machine is an off-the-arc feeder, voltage sensing feeder. As you can see, I have my voltage sensing lead hooked to my ground, right? And we are going to set this up for cord wire. Being that I'm using the 710XM, this is a wire based for 75-25 gas. That's the M mixed gas. So I have my 75-25 with my pressure gauge feeding my flow meter. I usually set this about 50, and then over here I usually put this about 36 CFH. Within this feeder, obviously you have our Pressy drive system, 4 drive roll system, 2 tensioning arms. You have your power switch, CCCV, gas purge, wire inch, trigger lock, and then today we are running the classic number 4 velocity style gun. When you get started with this, the first thing you want to do, being that we're running a cord wire, is make sure that you have the proper size and proper drive roll. When you're using cord wire, you need to be using a knurled drive roll. You can see it has the little ridges in there to catch the cord wire without disforming it and push it through your gun. So we're going to go ahead and snap these in. You put these in, make sure you shove them all the way back and that you lock them. You need to be able to see that yellow, or you don't have it locked in and it'll float in here. We're gonna make sure everything is secured. We're gonna make sure we have the proper size contact tip for the wire we're running. Today we're running 045, so I have my 045 velocity tip and my nozzle. First thing we're gonna do is we gotta take the wire off the spool. You wanna pull it out. Obviously you wanna get whatever kink is in it, make sure it's straight. So you go ahead and snip that off. The nice thing about these Pressy drive systems is once you get it locked into the first one, it'll feed itself through. So I have it locked into my drive rolls. I have the proper 045 knurled drive rolls. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this jog button. You saw I only put the wire to here. It's gonna feed it right through here with no issues. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the gun. You know, it's a good habit, it's not a must, but a good habit is try to make sure your gun isn't in circles and figure 8s when you're trying to feed cord wire through it. We're gonna hit the trigger here and we're gonna feed wire. I also always prefer to take my parts out of the gun just to keep up from any hang-ups, because if you get a hang-up right there, you're gonna get a bird nest, and then you're looking at like 10 more minutes of work getting all that wire yanked out of there. So while we're waiting for this wire to drive through the gun, we'll talk a little bit about the pressure settings. So if you're looking for pressure settings on all of our robust feed platforms, you'll see right here that we give you the recommended settings. So when it comes time to set your pressure on your drive system, up here on the door, we have all our recommended pressures. Today we're using a cord wire and an 045. So obviously front drive roll, we're gonna be, at 2. And then the other drive roll will be around 2.5 to 3. And the reason we're setting it on an offset is that when you set these on an offset, it helps straighten that wire before you start feeding that wire through your gun. So we have our wire through the gun, obviously proper size contact tip. Make sure that thing seats all the way in there on the velocity. Screw your nozzle. The other thing about velocity is you have to make sure that this nozzle is tight at all times. With a velocity contact tip, if your nozzle isn't tight, your contact tip is floating in there and it'll arc off and create you a whole lot of issues. Once you have your wire through your gun, these little welpers, I know it's silly, but a lot of people don't know that it's flat on one side and it has an indentation on the other. If you take the indentation and just butt it right up and cut it, it gives you the proper stick out on your wire, right? So once we do that, what I like to do, to make sure everything is good to go is I'll run this wire out a little bit and then I just push it in my hand, right? Those drive rolls aren't slipping, right? That wire is curling around. This is the way that I usually check my tension to make sure I have proper tension where I'm not getting any slippage, but also not too much tension that is disforming my wire, flaking the coating, clogging your liners. If it just circles like that and it's not slipping, you're good to go. All right, guys, if you followed all these steps and you're still having issues with feeding wire, your welding process, please contact FCAW Technical Support.